That sound you're hearing, ladies and gentlemen, is the band tuning up the various themes of the Champions League, Europa League, and the Conference League. If they have one, I presume they do at this stage. It is the second one after all. I mean, they should put some effort into it at this stage. But Neil, with the European competitions kicking off very, very soon, we both have vested interests in it, both domestically and internationally. So I thought we'd give ourselves a little rundown of all the groups and see which one we're gonna have to make. We're gonna gamify this. Which one is the spiciest group of the lot? That's what I want to throw in here. So, we'll start off with the Champions League as we always do, in this sense. So, we're going to start off with the first group, which is Ajax, Liverpool, Napoli, and Rangers. So, I think that's a very spicy group myself, but I'm also quite happy with that draw, considering
Oh
we could
yeah,
have got bar
fuck me.
one.
If I was a Liverpool fan, I'd be fucking geared. Get in there. I get to stuff some Rangers pricks as well at the same time. Fuck gear. Um,
It is very much like a case of the three away days you want if you're a Scally, isn't it? Like if you're a proper fucking
absolutely,
thug.
yeah. You,
Amsterdam to get high, Napoli to get to be racist against, and Rangers to kick heads in. Like yeah,
oh
that is the
fucking hell,
fucking
absolutely. I'm like
you
seriously,
know.
if you want to make money off racism, alcoholism, and sectarianism, you've got the three fucking games right there.
Really fucking do. Overall, like, it is a quite a balanced group, I think, to be honest, because again, this is the Rangers team that got to the Europa League final last year by merit. Let's be fair, because again, we just had the conversation with Steven Gerrard. They replaced him with Giovanni Van Bronckhorst, who has done so much better.
No, no, I'd like, look, I fully take that on board, but they're still finishing bottom of this fucking group.
Oh god, yeah, no, don't get me wrong.
Like, you
Um,
can shy on about that Europa League final merit all you want, man, but they're coming bottom of
hmm,
this group.
no,
Um,
I don't get that. Yeah.
I reckon it's Liverpool and Napoli. I don't see Ajax going anywhere in this one.
Yeah, with Ajax losing so many players, like it's they've been scalped. They've been scalped big time. So I think they will have to they're falling the sword this year. And yeah, and like Napoli have one of those seasons where they just picked up scraps from other teams, and that kind of brings put it's like clumping a big
Also,
lot of
you've
clay
also got
together, you
that
know.
Georgian wonder kid, Kavicha Kavachari. I don't know what to say.
Kvaratskhelia, yes,
They keep calling him Kavaradonna. Um,
yes,
so actually, I'll be interested in seeing how he plays. So
yeah.
like, I want to see how he plays. And to be honest with you, you'll be playing in the Champions League against Liverpool. Like, how
Mm,
higher a stage do you really want to prove yourself on?
very true. Yeah, Kavicha Kvaratskhelia, also known as Kavara, who's his nickname apparently. So
Kavar, yeah, Kavaradonna, yeah.
Maradona, yes. So yeah, so in terms of spiciness, how would you rate this? Being a spice expert yourself, Neil, as opposed to the actual like hot chilies, as opposed to synthetic cannabinoids.
No, I reckon this one's a very nice red jalapeno with all the seeds left in. I quite like it. I reckon the Liverpool, Napoli, Ajax triumvirate.
Mm.
There's some you get some heat there. Rangers, no.
So you're going for like maybe a four. If we're going for a scale of 1 to 5, maybe four fire alarms, four fire alerts. What
Oh,
was I think?
out of five alarm out of a scale from
Five
one
alarm. That's it. Yeah,
scale from 1 to 5 to five alarm. No, I'll give this a three.
three
I'd give
alarms.
Group A a three.
Okay, fair enough. Let's go with Group B then. So, Porto, the top seed in this one, followed by Atletico
Nah,
Madrid.
this group is a fucking one. This is yogurt shit.
Yeah,
Nah,
this
no
is
way.
milk. Yeah,
Um,
Leverkusen and Club Bruges.
it's
Perhaps
an
this is.
intriguing it's a group I don't have much of an idea who the fuck's getting out of this. Probably a coin toss between Atletico and Porto, but hey, Leverkusen aren't exactly pushovers. I don't think Brugge are coming anywhere. I think they're coming out last.
Yeah,
But as for the top three, I genuinely don't have an idea. I'd toss a coin between Porto and Atletico. But then
yeah,
again, if Leverkusen finish top or finish second, I'd be like, yeah, you know what? If just okay then. You know, like,
yeah. Well, all right then. All right, cool. I'm up to new adventures. Yes,
oh yeah,
absolutely.
exactly. Yeah, it's like I like new things.
To be fair, like it does roll. Like, I know it's a joke in German football a lot about Leverkusen themselves, how they I don't know if they have an equivalent in English football. So Spurs actually, really.
Mm.
I think in German football they call them Neverkusen, where because they always get to a point like this in the Champions League where you think like, oh, this is the year. They got eight players, A, B, and C, and D. They're going to do great. Oh, they lost all games and they lost 3-0. Shit. Okay,
Well,
Neverkusen.
that's actually true because they have started this Bundesliga campaign with 4 straight defeats.
That's the spirit. That's Bayern Neverkusen for you lads. There you go.
They've
The
they
prophecy is
haven't
not
lost
fulfilled.
any players, but
Yes.
they have lost all their games.
It balances out. It balances out. Okay, so we're going for a zero alert in
Well,
that one.
yeah,
So
I don't think there's a 0 on that scale, so I think 1 is the lowest.
fair enough. Fair enough. We go with Group C then. So Group C, in order is Bayern Munich, Barcelona, Inter Milan, and Victoria Pilsen.
Ooh,
Um,
this is definitely 3.5 tops. I like this.
mm,
Bayern are gonna walk it. Um,
yeah, they should walk this. In fairness, they really, really
I
should.
think that's the reason why it's not spicier. Sorry, excuse me. Why it's not any spicier because Bayern are going to come first, Plitzen are going to come last, and take your pick as to who comes second or third.
It's a bit of a knife fight for second, isn't it?
To be honest with you, I think so, because Inter. Fuck knows. I'm the Q's in the Inter team now. Oh, they've been actually doing good in La Liga, Serie A.
Well, Lukaku and Lautaro Martinez back together again.
Yeah, I'm like, yeah, they've gotten that back. Didn't they
Mm.
win the title with that kind of partnership? Didn't they win it with
They
that?
they did we did win the title on that partnership with Conte. Yes.
Fuck. So yeah, so they do actually have a strike partnership that they won this fucking very competition with back together. Fuck it, Bayern, Inter. Yeah, I no, but then again, Barca, fucking Lewandowski, Rafinha, like the players they have been able to register have all been really
Yes.
fucking good ones. Fuck, that's another coin toss.
Yeah. That's what makes it spicy. So Group D then is Eintracht Frankfurt, who came in as Europa League
Ah,
winners.
this is a one, man.
It's a one
Fuck
as well,
this.
isn't it?
Anything with
Yeah.
spores and anything that involves a cock and a basketball, get the fuck out of here.
So Frankfurt, Spurs, Sporting Lisbon, and Marseille. Who's that of European football? That's so unfair. But no, like again, it's a knife fight for anyone going into second place. Really, Spurs should walk this group. But then again, Antonio Conte has this weird hoodoo with the Champions League. Like I think the last few times he's qualified, he's finished bottom of each group, which is so fucking strange. It's a very weird glitch that happens with Conte's teams. Like they surely can't make hard work at this team, right, Neil? They can't make hard work at this group.
I don't know. I don't know. See, Eintracht are crap, right? I
Mm.
know they were a pot one team, but they came. Where did they come?
They were seventh or eighth in Eredivisie, I think, weren't they? Last year.
No, they came 11th.
11th, yeah. Sorry. They did far worse.
In the Bundesliga, yeah. So they came 11th. Sporting have lost loads of their games already so far this season,
Mm.
including getting absolutely stuffed by Porto 3-0. I suppose the only one that can make it difficult for Spurs is Marseille, given that
Yeah, they've got a weird team going on because they got like the likes of Alexis Sanchez there as well. Like,
they've got Matteo Guendouzi, who's actually playing quite well for them.
yeah,
Mbemba, Chancel Mbemba, remember him?
that's them, but yeah, I do
And
actually.
Jordan Vertu as well.
Vertu, oh, that guy who got relegated. Yeah, I remember him.
Yeah, he's there as well. So
Or
they
Bamba
finished
Dieng,
second.
who apparently can't pass a medical to save his life.
Yeah. Oh my god, I just loved that story.
Fucking
But yeah,
strange story.
Marseille came second only to PSG in the Farmers League, one of the Farmers Leagues. So yeah, I think it's going to be Spurs and Marseille getting out of that. And
Yeah.
if you want to even bother tossing a coin for third and fourth in that group, go for it. But they're going to be garbage. It's
Yeah,
fuck
that's
man
that's
to
totally
one.
fair.
Like
That's totally fair.
even due to the fact that you're asking an Arsenal fan to rate Spurs involvement, even if I wasn't an Arsenal fan, even if I was not an Arsenal fan, that's a group that's only exciting to Spurs fans because they know they're definitely going to get through it.
Yeah, that's fair. That's totally fair. Group E then has another English team in it. They are joining AC Milan, that being Chelsea, along with Red Bull Salzburg and Dinamo Zagreb. Again, hipstery type of teams in Salzburg and Zagreb, blue chip teams. But
This is
again, shouldn't be any trouble.
nah. There's no spice to this. This is Ned Flanders group shit. Two and a half tops.
Two, yeah.
Um, it'll be interesting series of dogfights between Chelsea and Milan.
That'll be good. They'll be fun matches, actually. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like Chelsea are coming off their first Scudetto yeah, I speak words good.
You do?
Coming off their
Go on,
first
you can do it.
Scudetto for about a decade or so.
Yes.
And Chelsea bit of the doldrums, haven't had the best start of the season. Might not click,
Mm,
might well click. Who knows? By the time these all kick off, it might all be good.
mm-hmm.
But fuck it. Although Milan will be fielding the legend, the Champions League
Yes.
enigma,
Mm-hmm.
the
Mm-hmm. Yes.
fucking
Say his
Bam
name.
Bam man
Say his,
himself,
say his fucking name.
Divock Origi.
Fucking get in there. Oof.
You should edit in the like Undertaker theme tune entrance music.
Just a gong. There should be a gong whenever he goes on the
They
pitch,
should
like you know.
um,
Or the Inception one, the blaster board.
yeah. But yeah, Salzburg, they got pillaged. They got
Mm.
absolutely fucking pillaged. I think they sold something like 11 players.
Including Benjamin Sesko, which would have been perhaps the tilt they would have had in this group, but now he's at Leipzig, so
Yeah.
we'll be talking about that very soon.
Yeah. It should be Chelsea, Milan 1-2.
It should be.
Yeah.
Keyword there. Group F then is Real Madrid, Rasenball Sport Leipzig, Shakhtar Donetsk, and Celtic. First time we've had two Scottish teams in the Champions League since 2006, Neil.
Oof.
That's a stat
All
for you,
right.
eh? Yeah.
I suppose it's amazing that Shakhtar are even able to take part,
Yeah.
given that their country is
yeah.
currently being shelled back into its constituent atoms.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think it's a fairly spicy group for second, isn't it?
It kind of is, yeah. It's weird. Madrid should be the favourites for this because Madrid in the Champions League is pretty much as about as sure a thing as you can fucking bet on in football. Madrid win because that's what Madrid do. Madrid will always win. Benzema is just on fire. I've never seen him play like this ever. I never even thought he was capable of playing like this. But even then, it still remains unclear. But it's very obvious that they're retooling their midfield with this trio of just unbelievable amounts of talent.
Yeah.
Tchouaméni and Camavinga. Like, that's a midfield trio. That if you're a proper football fan, you have to go change.
Yes.
If that's your midfield. They've also gotten Rudiger in, so that's shoring up the back. Yeah, I reckon Madrid, Leipzig 1-2 on this.
Yeah, I think Leipzig will surely, like with Tesco in the team, you'd want to think that it's going to be there. Like, I mean, like the Celtic team, they're playing really good football, but again, it's that kind of anchor of the Scottish league as well, whether that is a factor or not. And then Donetsk as well, like they do have. Donetsk always had blue chip players, and like Mulrick you were mentioning was one. Like if he or anyone else breaks out from that Shakhtar team, like they're in the shop window, and because of the circumstances in Ukraine, they're going to be even more of a bargain than normal. So like I would make the case it's been a very spicy group, you know,
particularly with FIFA allowing the players to just break their contracts.
Yeah,
for some fucking stupid ungodly reason.
Not sympathetic at all to the situation.
No.
Yeah.
To be honest with you, I'll give this a 3 spice because I reckon Celtic have a decent chance of sneaking second because Leipzig aren't doing too well because I was looking it up there. They've lost a few players. Werner hasn't bedded in very well. Shock fucking horror. I think in the last 3 games, they've taken 2 points.
Yeah.
So it's not looking good for El Rasenball, and I reckon Celtic are kicking ass in the Scottish League.
Yeah,
they'll go into this and they'll go, right, look, we're not getting ahead of Real, but we don't need to. It's very much the two hikers running away from a bear. Scenario.
You have to outrun, exactly.
You know, I don't have to outrun the bear. I just have to outrun you. Very much that. It's like, we don't have to beat Real. We just have to beat these two guys.
Yes.
You know, and I think they're probably capable. So yeah, that's why it gets a 3. That's a 3 alarm chili for me.
Yeah, fair enough. Group G then is the mandatory Man City easy group. So they get this year they get Sevilla, Borussia Dortmund, and Copenhagen.
This is two Spice. This is a two.
Mm-hmm.
Don't like this one at all. I suppose it only gets two because the first game is fucking City playing Dortmund again. So Haaland has
Yeah.
to go back to the club that they fucking pilfered him from.
Oh, the
Uh,
irony.
yeah, but
I suppose it is a good scrap for between Sevilla and Dortmund for second because they're both decent entries in the Champions League this year. But again, Dortmund are one of those weird teams where like with the players they do get on paper, you're thinking, oh, they'll have a good tilt and they'll show how good they are, and then they end up finishing third or fourth. Whereas Sevilla are kind of the opposite, where like you're thinking, oh, there's a lot of like workmen in those kind of groups. They'll
but
be showing
Sevilla
up.
have lost Diego Carlos,
That's a big one. Yes.
and so have the team who bought him, by the way, as well.
What
So,
cruel irony.
exactly. And
Yeah.
Dortmund replaced Haaland with Haller and
Mm.
some other guy.
Daniil Marlin.
Maybe, yeah. But they've not had a good start to the season, the domestic season either,
Mm.
under one of Klopp's assistants. Um, it's fuck, but I reckon they'll have enough to come second. I reckon
Yeah.
City Dortmund 1-2.
Yeah. I would think so. So yeah, I think two alarm is a fair assessment. That leaves them with the last group then, which is PSG, Juventus, Benfica, and Maccabi Haifa.
This gets a four, Chile, from me. I quite like
Yeah, I was about to say. I think we left the best to last here. I think.
this is a good one because the top three teams, right? Let's face it, Maccabi Haifa, they're coming fourth. Let's leave that to
Gotcha.
one side. But the other three teams are playing really fucking well.
Mm,
PSG are supercharged by the fact that Neymar is coming into a World Cup, so it's the only time he'll actually give a fuck about what he's doing.
yes.
Which means that they're actually not really being that effective by the fact that Mbappe's disappeared so far up his own hole, he's gone to the twilight zone. Juve are Juve. They're on a crest of a wave. They're riding it really well. And Benfica are kicking ass. Benfica have started really well.
They haven't lost Nunez that much, really. Benfica. They played it smart enough that they've been able to like live without him in a sense.
Yeah, it's really good. Yeah, no, I quite like this. I think that triumvirate between PSG, Juve, and Benfica, I reckon PSG will get to the top because they've got Messi. They got Messi. They got Messi and a Neymar who gives a fuck.
Yeah.
And like as much as I probably wouldn't piss in the guy if you were on fire when he's on it, he's an absolutely superlative footballer. Like I think that's the reason why he infuriates me so much is
Because he
because
could be like that all the time.
if he was just stayed on his feet and actually gave more of a fuck, like he is truly an incredible footballer. He's really good to watch, and this will probably be the only time I'll actually actively not really look forward, but I'll probably actively watch a PSG game because I'll be like, I know I'm going to get a turned on Neymar and I'm going to get to watch him play alongside Messi. Mbappe right now, I can just take him or leave him. Maybe he'll turn it on for the Champions League. Maybe he won't. Who knows? Juve have got a good team. They've got Kostic, Di Maria, and Pogba back. They've also they've got Mateus Delite.
Vlahovic, of course, from last year from
Exactly.
January.
So they're desperate. They want back in on the Champions League. They want to get back. They want the old lady back at the top of the table.
Yes.
And Benfica are doing really well. So I'm loving this. This is my 4-alarm group.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's your spiciest group of the lot then in
It is actually my
Champions League
spiciest
terms.
group.
Yeah. And then we'll do a little dabble into the Europa League here because we do have some English teams in here. Namely Group A for Arsenal. You guys are drawn with PSV Eindhoven, Bodo Glimt, the Norwegian champions, and FC Zurich. A decent group, all things considered. Like again, there were some low key strong teams in like pot 3 and pot 2 that you could have got there. Now Bodo Glimt have been like the hipsters' favorite for a while, considering they are such a small team, but playing really good open attacking football. So they've been people's favorites. And then of course PSV, who are just like almost in a way like they shouldn't really be in the Europa League, but they're in that kind of situation where like with Dutch teams they tend to fall between the cracks sometimes because of their ranking. But they'll have a strong campaign, and like surely it's an Arsenal PSV walkover here, isn't it? Like it's a fairly steady group.
Oh, very much, very very much. I'm happy with it. The
Mm.
travel is really cut down.
Ideal,
Um,
yeah.
I think Zurich needs two flights. One of those teams needs two flights.
That'd be Norway, I'd say. Bordeaux Glint makes the
Glint,
most
yeah,
sense.
that
Yeah.
needs two flights. It's not too onerous. But I'm happy about it. I'm happy out with it. It's not. We're good. They're easy enough. Well, should be easy enough. Um, so yeah, I'm delighted with it, particularly given that three of our initial group games will fall in October, which will be alongside six league games, meaning that we'll be playing 9 times in October, which will be the
Yes.
second highest amount ever played by a team, which is 10, which was also Arsenal,
Mm.
funnily enough. So yeah, um,
Well, this will be the question now, right? And I'll put you on the spot here about this, Neil. Like, how much? I'll probably ask this question about Man United as well. With the fact that Arsenal started so strong into the season, and top four is a genuine prospect, considering how Chelsea and Spurs and United are doing at the moment. Is it important? Is the Europa League important this season
yeah.
to Arsenal, or is it top four? What's the priority? If you had to, if like gun to the head, you had to pick one. What one would
Well,
you prioritize?
the priority would be top four.
Okay.
Always. I reckon even I remember last season Arteta just actually actively stating that top
Mm,
four was the priority, and that if we could get into the Champions League via winning the Europa League, we would actually aim to do that. But that top
mm.
four would be the priority, and I don't think that's changed. I don't think it should, and for me, it doesn't. Even though I would very much love to watch us really go for this Europa League and win it.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, no, top four would be a priority. But this is winnable. Um, Very much so. When you look around at the other teams, I know we haven't gotten the cast offs from the Champions League yet, but like that's not a tremendous amount here. Like this Man
Mm.
U, um, Roma.
Roma, actually, yeah, Roma would be a low key one there. Um, yeah, I think Roma I'd identify as the biggest threat there at the moment.
Yeah, Roma, Lazio, Man U. Yeah, they'd be the ones I'd be like, all right, then they're the ones
Mm.
looking. Yeah, we can kick ass in this. Maybe Rennes. They might they,
Yeah,
they
like
might do
the
something.
French league can be unusual sometimes. Like
That's the
Rennes,
thing, exactly.
Monaco, yeah,
That's a big shrug emoji there. But yeah, that's it. To be honest, with you, I'll be happy if we get through this. In I don't give a fuck if we finish first or second. We should finish first. But if we
yeah.
get through those games without any massive injuries, I'll be delighted because it's probably going to shred us.
Mm,
Injury wise, I'm like we're
yeah.
playing 9 games in a month.
Yeah,
That's
exactly. It's brutal on
fucked.
all the teams really, especially. And I think you're never going to see it in the league more so because all the mid-table teams are going to sniff around, going like, "Oh, they played midweek. Let's fucking get at them." That's how work the fuckers. So in terms of Man United, then they're in Group B with drawing with Real Sociedad, and they've got Sheriff Tiraspol and FC Omonia from Cyprus, Athletic Club Omonia, sorry, from Cyprus. And again, not a difficult group as such. But I remember you mentioned that the fact that you're going to be playing so many games in a month, the travel is going to be an issue more so than many other previous years. So Sociedad is fine as a trip to Spain, but Moldova and Cyprus are tough away trips. And again, depending on where they fall in your schedule, that can impact your league form. It can impact your cup form if you're mixing and matching. It's a tough
Oh,
one, isn't it?
oh, absolutely. To be honest with you, I wouldn't switch places with Manu, even though they've got
Mm,
by far the three easier teams to finish ahead of than we do.
yes.
I fuck me, I would not want those trips, particularly not in October. Um, they can have it.
Yeah.
They can keep that shit. Ammonia actually, not a chemical.
No,
Uh,
Omonia, which is the
um,
Irish version.
yes, they're helmed by Neil Lennon,
Yes, which I
former
was
Celtic
shocked to
manager.
hear. So, like
Yeah.
that's where he ended up. I genuinely feel sorry for Cyprus. I'm not sure. Also, know why like the most ginger person I've ever seen is somehow fucking and able to like and live in Cyprus and manage there. He must only come out at nights. Like,
Yeah, exactly. And the funny thing is about like the other game as well was like it'll be held in Moldova, but Tiraspol aren't a Moldovan team really. They're actually
yes,
they're the unrecognized Russian-backed capital of a country nobody recognizes.
yeah, Transnistria, I think it is.
Transnistria, yeah, or something like that.
Transnistria, that's it.
It
Yeah,
sounds like something like from the Rocky Horror Show, like where this is where Dr. Frankenfurter is from. Like that sounds like the country
yeah, yeah. Actually, it does. Yeah,
where he would be from. So yeah, so they're playing a Cypriot team helmed by a former Celtic manager and another team that come from a country that isn't recognized by
mm.
anybody.
And also like backed by a massive billionaire over there as well, like
Yeah,
the richest man in
didn't
Moldova.
they beat Real?
They beat Real at the Bernabeu. Yes.
Fuck. So yeah, any case, um, Manchester United, they got 3 easier games, but my God, I wouldn't trade that travel for the world.
Nope,
Have it.
absolutely not. And we've just have time then to talk about the Conference League. West Ham, who you'd have to imagine are one of the favourites to win it, although Villarreal will probably stake a claim to that, and maybe even someone like Fiorentina. They're in a handy enough group. They're in with Steaua Bucharest or FCSB, their Phoenix club. Anderlecht, who was run by Vincent Company, but now has gone to a bigger team in Burnley, and the Danish outfit Silkeborg. So again, with travel being a factor, like it's actually quite a decent draw for West Ham there. You know, like Romania probably being the biggest trip out of the three.
Well, not really. FCSB are based in Bucharest, which is the capital.
Yes,
So,
that's
I
not
mean,
too bad.
that's easy enough to get to, kind of.
Yes,
They're not like taking 2 flights there or any of that type of bollocks.
no,
They were Steaua Bucharest, by the way.
they were, yes, and I
That's
think
what they
they
used
got
to be called.
changed. Yeah,
Yeah. Um, yeah, they should get through
they
this.
should walk that. They should walk that.
Actually, I'm
Um,
looking at all the other teams now and there.
mm.
I don't think, well, they are definitely one of the favorites there, but there's some tasty other teams in there, like fucking Fiorentina are in there. Uh,
Fiorentina and Villarreal is who I'd look at there as contenders.
what about Shamrock Rovers?
Well, funny you should mention Shamrock Rovers, Neil, because they did get into Europe this year, excitingly enough. And they're in with K Gent, Molde, and Djurgårdens from Sweden. So again, travel wise, not bad. Like Norway and Sweden and Belgium, good away trips, arguably
Great for boozing.
great for boozing. But then again, like this is not like the worst group to be in terms of trying to progress. You know, like the last time we had an Irish team in the group stages was Dundalk, and they actually did fairly well, all things
Yeah, no,
considered.
they could easily get second in this.
They could, yeah. I think Molde would be their biggest target. Like your Gardens pot four, you'd hope they'd certainly win their first game. I think they'd actually play your Gardens first in the
Mm.
group. So if they win that first game, stake a claim and go from there, basically trying to get through the Ghent games as best they can. Molde will be the ones to target. Like it's a big ask, absolutely. But this is perhaps been like even league form alone, Rovers has walked the league. I know they just actually lost the Dublin Derby tonight as we're speaking, but that's that's a drop in the ocean compared to the actual form they've shown. And the squad they have is strong, it's good, probably capable of a challenge in Europe, but again, it just has to go down to winning those fucking games. You have to put them away. So we shall see come the 8th of September how they get on. But I'd be quietly confident of at least trying to get out of that group. I shouldn't think we'll be bottom anyway.
No, they won't come bottom, but yeah, they should try for second. But then again,
Mhm.
I'm a Bows fan, so I don't give a fuck if Shamrock Rovers live or die.
Well, that is your position, Neil, and you're fully entitled to that situation. But I am obliged to disagree with you because I, for one, believe altruistically in the hope of Irish football succeeding, and we have to do it in Europe. I support any team that gets into Europe, Neil. That's my stance. I'm a bigger picture kind of guy, you know.
No, to be honest, no, I'd like to be a bigger
You're
picture.
petty. That's your difference. You're petty,
No,
right? You're
I'd like to
petty.
be a bigger picture guy, but to be honest with you, no, fuck that shit.
No, fuck you, bastard. so, so yeah, that's our European roundup. And again, Snap Budget Neil, right? If we circle back to the Champions League, snap judgment, right on spot. Who's won the Champions League? Who's your
Real.
pick? I am going to be a bit cheeky and say Munich.
That is
And I
well
do
cheap.
believe it's cheeky because I think Sadio Mane is going to be the difference. I have faith in them. I have faith in them to lead Munich to Champions League glory. We shall see come the end of the year when we're at Istanbul, because that was Constantinople. Now it's Istanbul, and we'll see who gets to the final. It's probably going to be fucking Liverpool again, to be honest, because that's what we do lately. I don't know why I said it in such a rhetoric tone. It's like, oh, typical Liverpool, always get to the final. Like, what bastards, like.